You know that moment, bro? The one where she's sitting right across from you, you can smell her shampoo, you're inches apart, and you've never felt further away from a human being in your entire life. You're scrolling. She's scrolling. The room is so quiet you can hear the fridge humming. And your brain says, in that little flat voice, "What happened to us? Did I mess this up? Does she even still want to be here? Or am I just addicted to the first version of her?" You don't say any of it. Neither does she. Because here is the lie no one ever corrected for you: most men believe they lose a woman because they stopped doing enough. Stopped texting enough. Stopped trying hard enough. But the real truth? The relationship didn't get harder because your effort faded. It got harder because your emotional ground did. She stopped feeling safe and you stopped feeling like yourself, and now you're both just performing a version of love that used to be real. You're not a bad partner. You're not broken. You just learned how to love from a playbook that was never actually designed to keep her close. That playbook taught you to chase. To impress. To pour out. To chase harder when she pulls back. This video is going to teach you the other way. The quiet way. The stoic way. The way where you don't lose her because she never felt like you were running toward her in the first place. By the end of this, you're going to understand why your intensity was never the problem, why your absence was never the answer, and what it actually looks like to become the kind of man a woman doesn't just love, she chooses. Every single day. Let's get into it. Mindset Reframed 055 to 215. Before we get into the 7 shifts, man, I need you to see something most men never see. Most guys believe attraction is a doing game. Work harder. Give more. Be more impressive. Then she'll stay. That's the model we inherited, right? From movies, from our dads, from half-broken advice we read at 2 a.m. But here's what nobody explains. Your partner's nervous system is reading you before her mind can even catch up. She doesn't fall in love with your resume. She doesn't fall in love with your persistence. She falls in love with the felt sense of being safe around you. And when that safety leaves, the love doesn't disappear. It just goes underground. It turns into politeness. Into logistics. Into 2 people sharing a bed and a calendar. You already know exactly what I'm talking about. Because you've been in that room. The one where you're both present and completely unreachable. Here's the part almost no one talks about: the chasing instinct isn't intimacy. It's anxiety wearing a suit. It's the same nervous system that begs you to text her again, to over-explain, to fix, to plan the perfect date, to prove you're enough. When the truth is she was already leaning in before you ever said a word. Your chase is what made her pull away. Not because she doesn't care. Because her attachment system was already whispering, if he's this desperate for me, something must be wrong with me, or with this. This isn't about tricks. This isn't about strategy. And here's what changes everything: this is about becoming a man so internally anchored, so emotionally honest, so unhurried by her outcome, that his presence alone recalibrates the entire dynamic. That's the frame. Hold it in your chest. Because everything I'm about to say comes from here. Point 1: the end of chasing. Number 1: stop chasing. Start becoming. Most men in relationships, especially when they feel her pulling away, do the most predictable thing in the world. They chase. More texts. More apologies. Another date. Another grand gesture. Another version of "please still want me." And underneath all of it? A deep, terrified question: am I enough without performing for her? Because here's the real truth, bro, your nervous system reads pursuit as need. Her nervous system reads need as instability. And instability, no matter how well dressed it is, doesn't feel like love. It feels like pressure. Pressure creates walls. Walls create the very distance you're trying to erase. Picture this. She's a little distant one evening. Doesn't kiss you the way she usually does. The old you sends. Hey, did I do something wrong? You seem off. Want to talk about it? I just want us to be good. 4 messages. Parenthetical reassurance. Subtle begging. And her stomach sinks a little. He's spiraling again. I can't even have a quiet night without it becoming a thing. The new you? You notice. You feel the pull. And you breathe. You go make yourself tea. You text a friend. You let her have her night. The next morning she walks over and says, "Hey, can we talk?" And leans into your chest. Because your calm gave her the room to come back to herself. Something in her is quietly whispering, he didn't panic. He didn't need me to fix it. I can actually breathe with him. And when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. Point 2: The man who doesn't need. Number 2: Build the man she doesn't have to hold up. Most guys believe love is a transaction. You give, she gives. You pour, she pours back. But here's what nobody explains: she feels the moment the relationship becomes an emotional job for her. The moment she's not just your partner, she's your therapist, your confidence coach, your source of meaning. That's not love for her anymore. That's labor. A stoic man, a man who has done his inner work, doesn't outsource his worth. He doesn't place his peace in her hands and then get furious when she sets it down. Picture this. You had a hard day. Old you. I just feel so stuck right now. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. Can you just tell me it's gonna be okay? And she hears it. And she softens. And she goes home carrying your weight. New you, she asks how your day was. Honestly? Hard. But I'm gonna sit with it tonight and figure tomorrow out fresh. You don't minimize. You don't perform. You just don't hand her the unprocessed version of yourself anymore. His brain is quietly registering, I don't have to rescue him. I can just love him. And when you do that, she stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. Point 3: The quiet confidence. Number 3: Confidence is what you are when nothing is happening. Most men perform confidence. They project it. They tip big. They speak louder. They name drop. They flex in subtle ways that feel, to her, like noise. But here's the real truth: her nervous system actually responds to calm without performance. The man who can sit in silence without filling it. The man whose worth doesn't depend on being impressive in the next 10 seconds. Stoic confidence isn't loud. It's the guy who listens more than he talks. Who isn't constantly narrating himself. Who doesn't need her laughter to validate his jokes. Who can let a moment be small and not turn it into content. Picture this. You're at dinner with her friends. Old you. Constantly steering the conversation, telling stories you half remember, making sure everyone sees how sharp you are. She watches you perform and quietly, she feels smaller next to you. New you, you ask her friends real questions. You listen. The table relaxes. She watches you not need the room's attention and something in her reopens. What's moving through her is, I forgot how good it feels to be next to a man who doesn't need the spotlight to feel okay. When you do that, man, a different kind of intimacy starts forming, one that doesn't need applause to exist. Point 4: The war inside you. Number 4: Master the war inside, and the one outside disappears. Most couples fight about the wrong thing. Man, listen. The dishes aren't about the dishes. The late night isn't really about the late night. The tone she used wasn't really about the tone she used. Two people who are scared and don't know how to say it are using surface conflict to reach each other in the only language they still share. Here's the deeper truth her nervous system already knows: when you can regulate yourself in a conflict, you give her something almost no man gives her, a witness who doesn't combust. Someone whose presence during a hard moment doesn't make the hard moment bigger. Stoicism isn't coldness. Stoicism is the refusal to let your unprocessed pain become her emergency. Picture this. She raises her voice about something small. Old you match her energy. Escalate. Defend. Win the point. Lose the woman. New you? You feel the spike in your chest. You don't act on it. You soften your shoulders. You say, I hear you. Tell me more. She deflates a little. Her eyes fill. She tells you what she was actually afraid of. Her brain is quietly registering, he actually heard me this time. Not just waited to talk. And when you do that, bro, that's the moment intimacy becomes what you always wanted it to be, not a debate, but a refuge. Point 5, the abundance mindset. Number 5, the man who has too much will never beg. Most men in modern relationships radiate scarcity. They clutch. They monitor likes. They double text. They panic at a delayed reply. They treat her attention like the last clean water on earth. And here's what nobody explains, she feels it instantly. Scarcity isn't subtle. It's the small ways you treat her attention like it's rationed. The way your voice tightens when she mentions another man's name. The way your jaw sets when she wants one night with her friends. The stoic man lives from overflow, not emptiness. He's rich in himself, not because he doesn't want her, but because wanting her doesn't dismantle him. Not louder conversations. Not more compromising. Not scheduling a weekly check-in. But two people who actually feel safe enough to be honest with each other for the first time in years. Picture this. She mentions she had coffee with a male friend. Old you, rigid jaw, instant suspicion, oh. Cool. Why didn't you mention it earlier? She feels surveilled. New you, nice. How was it? Said easily. No interrogation. No scorekeeping. Because you trust her, and more importantly, you trust yourself. From inside that, her body relaxes 2 inches. Something in her is whispering. I don't have to perform innocence around him. I can just be myself. And when you do that, she stops feeling watched and starts feeling chosen, which is a completely different kind of closeness. Point 6, the emotional floor. Number 6, provide the emotional floor she doesn't have to build herself. Most men believe their job is to fix things. Her sadness? Fix it. Her problem at work? Solve it. Her fight with her sister? Plan a workaround. Show up with the answer. Be the hero. Be useful. But here's what almost no man understands, she doesn't want a hero. She wants a home. She wants the man whose presence makes her nervous system say, okay. I'm safe. I can put this down here for a second. Providing the emotional floor isn't a technique. It's a way of being. It's the man who doesn't flinch when she cries. Who doesn't check his phone when she's being vulnerable? Who doesn't make her emotion about his comfort? Stoic strength here isn't stoicism as coldness. It's the discipline of staying present when your impulse is to flee. Picture this. She breaks down about something heavy. Old you, okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Solution. Pivot. Move the mood along. New you, you sit next to her. You put your hand on her back. You don't try to fix anything. You just stay. Her breathing slows. The cry softens. She looks up and says, thank you for not trying to make this okay. Her nervous system is quietly writing this into memory as the safest place she's ever been. That's when your partner stops feeling like a project to manage and starts feeling like a person to love. Point 7, the long game. Number 7, play the longest game you'll ever play. Most men optimize for the moment. The text reply. The date night. The weekend. The win. The peak. The high. But here's the real truth her nervous system is recording right now, not the peak. The pattern. Not what you did last Tuesday. What you did every Tuesday for the last 10 Tuesdays. Stoic men understand that presence is a long game. That integrity compounds. That a woman doesn't fall in love with what you said on day 1, she falls in love with who you've consistently been by day 300. Not louder conversations. Not more compromising. Not buying her something pretty. But two people who, over time, have built a quiet, undeniable trust that says, he will still be him. Tomorrow, and the day after that. Picture this. A small moment. You're tired. You're scrolling. She starts to tell you something about her week. Old you, half listen, half react, half present. New you put the phone down. You look at her. You give her 90 seconds of undivided attention. Tomorrow she does the same back. Next month it's reflex. Next year it's the architecture of your whole life. His nervous system is quietly whispering, she doesn't need me to fix this. She just needs me to stay. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. The close 18 to 1930. So let me leave you here, man. This isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to show up differently. And that changes everything about what's possible between you and the person you chose. When you internalize this, you stop reacting and start responding, and she will feel the difference before you've even said a word. These aren't tips for a better relationship. They're the beginning of becoming the kind of partner you always wanted someone to be for you. You didn't lose her because you tried too little. You started losing her the moment your nervous system turned her into something to win instead of someone to walk beside. The moment your effort replaced your presence. The moment your chase replaced your character. The undoing of all of it starts tonight. With one calm breath. One phone put down. One honest sentence. One decision to stop performing for her and start being with her. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right woman. It starts when you decide to become the man she was always waiting for.